Imagine living in a home where strange noises echo through the halls, objects move on their own, and an overwhelming sense of dread haunts you day and night. The story of the Amityville house is well known, but what if I told you that there are new details and untold perspectives that have come to light? Welcome to my channel where I delve into some of the most chilling mysteries and true crime stories. Today we're diving deep into the infamous haunting that has captured imaginations and terrorized people for decades, the haunting of Amityville. We'll explore the dark history behind the house, the gruesome events that took place, and the paranormal phenomena that followed. But today I'll also be exploring a fresh perspective on the case that could challenge everything you think you know about the haunting. The story of the Amityville haunting began on a cold November night in 1974 when Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family in their sleep at 112 Ocean Avenue. His parents and 4 siblings were shot dead in their beds, leading to one of the most notorious mass murders in American history. But one of the biggest questions surrounding this crime remains: how did Ronald DeFeo Jr. manage to commit these heinous acts without anyone in the neighborhood hearing the gunshots? Theories about possible accomplices or the use of a silencer have circulated, but recent investigations suggest an even darker possibility. Some believe that Ronald DeFeo Jr. may have been influenced by something sinister, a malevolent force that had been residing in the house long before the DeFeo family moved in. Ronald himself claimed that voices told him to kill his family. Whether these voices were a manifestation of mental illness or something supernatural is still a point of heated debate. New forensic evidence examined years after the murders has revealed some inconsistencies in DeFeo's original confession, leading some to question whether he acted alone. Could it be that the house itself played a role in driving DeFeo to commit these brutal killings? The history of the infamous Amityville house at 112 Ocean Avenue is as eerie as it is tragic. Originally built in 1924, the house is a classic Dutch colonial-style home, with its iconic gambrel roof and eye-like windows that have become synonymous with the paranormal. Located in a quiet suburban neighborhood of Amityville, Long Island, New York, the house seemed like the perfect family residence, until it became the scene of one of America's most horrifying crimes and later, one of its most notorious hauntings. In 1965, the DeFeo family moved into the home, marking the beginning of its dark history. The family consisted of Ronald Sr., his wife Louise, and their 5 children: Ronald Jr., often called Butch, Dawn, Allison, Mark, and John. Outwardly, the DeFeo family appeared to live a normal middle-class life. However, behind closed doors, tension and conflict brewed. The family's eldest son, Ronald Jr., struggled with emotional issues, drug abuse, and violent tendencies. Accounts from friends and family suggested that there were frequent fights between Butch and his father, who was described as an overbearing and abusive figure. On the night of November 13, 1974, tragedy struck. Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his parents and 4 siblings while they slept, using a .35 caliber rifle. The murders took place between 3 o'clock and 4 a.m., and despite the loud gunshots, no neighbors reported hearing anything unusual, which only added to the mystery. The bodies were all found lying face down in their beds with no signs of struggle. Ronald Jr. initially claimed that the killings were committed by a mob hitman, but he later confessed to the murders. He claimed that voices in the house told him to kill his family, leading some to believe that there was something malevolent already lurking within the house. DeFeo was arrested and eventually sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms in prison for the murders. The gruesome nature of the crime and the strange circumstances surrounding it shocked the nation, but it was only the beginning of the house's dark legacy. Some paranormal investigators believe that the house may have been the epicenter of dark forces long before the Lutz family moved in. In December 1975, just over a year after the DeFeo murders, the Lutz family purchased the house for a remarkably low price of $80,000, due to the horrific crime that had occurred there. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, moved into the house hoping to start a new life. However, they claimed that almost immediately after moving in, they were subjected to terrifying paranormal experiences. According to the Lutz family, the house became a living nightmare. They reported strange phenomena such as strange noises, foul odors, cold spots, green slime oozing from the walls, and objects moving on their own. George Lutz claimed he would wake up every night at 3:15 a.m., the exact time of the DeFeo murders, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The family also reported witnessing demonic figures, including one with glowing red eyes that peered into their house from the outside. Kathy Lutz claimed she was levitated off her bed, and their daughter befriended an unseen entity she called Jody, which allegedly took the form of a large pig with glowing eyes. After only 28 days, the Lutz family fled the house, leaving their belongings behind and vowing never to return. Their story became the subject of the best-selling 1977 book The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson, which was later adapted into a series of films, cementing the house's reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. Following the Lutz's departure, famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren conducted their own investigation of the house. The Warrens claimed that the house was infested with a powerful and malevolent entity. During their investigation, they captured what appeared to be a ghostly image of a young boy, which they claimed was the spirit of one of the murdered DeFeo children. However, skepticism and controversy followed the case. Many people, including some former residents of the house, have reported living in the home with no paranormal experiences. In fact, several people involved in the case have come forward over the years claiming that the entire story was a hoax. William Weber, Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s defense attorney, admitted in a 1979 interview that he and the Lutz family concocted the haunting story over several bottles of wine. According to Weber, the plan was to create a sensationalized story that could be turned into a profitable book and movie deal. Despite Weber's claims, the Lutz family stood by their story until their deaths, maintaining that they were telling the truth about their experiences. Could it be that Weber was simply trying to distance himself from the controversy, or was the entire haunting a fabrication from the beginning? A deeper dive into the financial struggles of the Lutz family at the time also adds a layer of complexity. Some have suggested that the haunting was their way of escaping crippling mortgage payments on a house they could no longer afford. Despite the controversy, the Amityville house remains a cornerstone of American paranormal lore. The property has changed owners several times since the Lutz family fled, and the address has even been changed to discourage tourists and thrill seekers. Yet the legend of the house at 112 Ocean Avenue endures, continuing to spark fear, fascination, and debate. Today, the infamous Amityville house at 112 Ocean Avenue still stands, but its notoriety continues to affect its residents. Over the years, the house has changed ownership multiple times, with many of its owners attempting to distance themselves from the infamous history tied to it. The address was even changed from 112 Ocean Avenue to 108 Ocean Avenue to deter tourists and curiosity seekers from visiting. While no paranormal events have been publicly reported by recent owners, the house remains a point of fascination for ghost hunters and fans of the Amityville horror story. Despite the efforts to keep the location low-key, the house still attracts visitors interested in its haunted past, though the current residents maintain a private and quiet life. In terms of its appearance, the house has undergone renovations and changes to its structure. One of the most notable changes was the removal of the iconic quarter-moon eye-like windows on the front of the house, which had become a recognizable feature of the home due to their association with the 1979 Amityville horror film. Real estate listings show that the house has been sold several times, most recently in 2017, for $605,000. Significantly lower than other homes in the same area, due to its history. Current residents keep a low profile, and it is believed that they live in the house without any paranormal disturbances, though they continue to endure the occasional public interest and tourist attention due to the legends surrounding the property. The haunting of Amityville continues to capture the imaginations of believers and skeptics alike. Whether you believe the house was haunted by dark forces or that it was simply the site of a gruesome tragedy, there's no denying the lasting impact of the story. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you or someone you know has experienced paranormal activity, check out the links in the description for resources and support. Keep the conversation going so these stories continue to be told. And who knows, maybe one day we'll find the answers we've been searching for. Stay warm, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.